Okay, so welcome to the Chaos Data Science Working Group for March 25th, 2025. As a reminder, we are under the CHAOSS Code of Conduct, so please keep that in mind and be kind to each other. So we have a few things on the agenda. There is actually some other space if you want to add additional agenda items. So feel free to add your items if you'd like to do that. So I think, yeah, so we'll start with project updates, which is where we generally start. So I will maybe turn it over to Sophia and you can talk about the taxonomy crowdsourcing. Do you want to share your screen for anything, or do you want me to just click on things?
No, we haven't really had any movement, so not really a lot of update here. I have a couple of things that I want to add to it, so you'll probably see those PRs come across in the next 2 weeks. But so far, not a lot of movement. I also haven't been doing a great job of promoting it. I think I've just been busy. But I haven't lost all hope for this project. I think I'm still going to keep working on things like this, so I'm going to keep putting them in this repo, and maybe others will join, maybe not.
Cool. That sounds good.
Where can I find out more about the taxonomy crowdsourcing? Oh, that link? Cool.
Yeah,
I'll
that
have a
link
look.
should take you right to the page, which there's a template so you can add new taxonomies. I don't know, Sophia, maybe you want to explain it for the people who are newer on the call, what the project is.
Sure. So, Cooper, I don't know if you're familiar with my work, but I do a lot of, well, this is related to this working group and other things, a lot of analysis and research related to open source stuff, communities, projects, and the like. And for a lot of those projects, I've had to develop bespoke taxonomies to better understand the data and to group the data and to analyze the data. And I've seen researchers in this space do the same thing, probably in their own way to fit their needs, to fit their data. And I've been chatting with a bunch of folks in this community, and we talked to FOSDEM to basically say, why do we keep doing this again? Aren't there similarities between how we look at open source communities and how we group them via taxonomies? And the thought was that people keep making them, but people keep remaking them. So if we start putting them all in one place, then perhaps we can inform that exercise and maybe come to some generalizations that we can apply to open source research and analysis practices in general. So that was sort of the broader concept. We made a repo. I put in my talk. I put in a template. I've submitted a few. I'll probably submit a few more, but haven't really seen the crowdsource effort take off, which is okay. We knew this was experimental. We did get some interest at FOSDEM, where people were like, yeah, that's an interesting idea. But I think ideas kind of take a while to get started sometimes. But I think that's okay. Like, as long as this isn't costing us any money to just sit here, it can grow slowly. And I'll probably keep coming back to it every time I build a new taxonomy, which working on another one now. So it's just like it's something that's always going to be present, at least in my current work.
Yeah, and you can
Cool.
see
Thank
an
you.
example here using the data card template that Sophia just talked about. So this is one, and if you have some taxonomies that you want to contribute, I would say go for it.
Nice. Thanks for the intro.
Okay. Any other questions for Sophia on the taxonomies? Okay. I don't see anybody here from the project planning. That's not project planning. Corporate projects moving to foundations. That's the planning document. Sorry, I just got back from California yesterday about this time, and so I'm a little jet lagged. So if I don't make sense, I'm gonna blame it on that. But so Sal has been working on gathering some of the data about the projects. So we've been working on building some kind of basic data sets that we can use then to feed into Grimoire Lab or Augur or something. But things like, well, actually, I can just show you because Sal is linked to it here. But basically having data about the projects. So let's see, those are CNCF ones. I'm just trying to see if there are some others. Because there's also the Apache data, which might be in a different, file.
Yeah, I'm curious how consistent the format is. Like, was this, I don't know quite where the data was coming from and whether or not they were able to make this a consistent format.
I'm not sure. I believe that Sal is trying to put it into a consistent format. The data that we got from each of the projects was in a completely different format. So CNCF
I
has the
bet.
landscape YAML files. I think there's a JSON file that we used that's just a subset of it's basically a subset of the YAML file with some additional information in it. So I think we used that. But yeah, but Sal's basically written some scripts to pull that data. Now, what we still need to do is take the data that we have about the projects, like, when they were moved into the foundation, where their repos are, things like that, and then we'll feed that into Augur or Grimoire Lab, or probably both.
Okay. I have
Uh,
a tiny update that's unrelated to this part too.
mhm,
Toast and I had a separate conversation in Slack where she was trying to basically gather related research and doing her own sort of research overview, or research survey on this topic. And so I knew of a couple of pieces, not a lot, which is why this is an interesting area of research,
mhm.
and started sending her links and suggested a few contacts. And I think she's going to be working on building just a drive folder of related research to help with that initial investigation. The thing where she might need support is a lot of pieces are not under full open access, as in they cost money. And so I know at least I have access to a few accounts and might be able to download a few papers and sort of leverage the accounts that I have. But it might take a little bit of crowdsourcing to see if we can get access to all the papers that are relevant, because there's not that many of them, at least not that we found.
Yeah.
But we might need a little bit of help to be able to get all of them. I was pretty blunt, and I was like, most academics, if you just reach out to them directly, are happy to share their paper with you as a PDF. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Generally, if
so
you email them, they're so happy that someone else is reading their stuff.
yeah. And at least the ones that I sent, I know at least one author on the paper. So if we can't get it through an open access channel, then I will just email Curtis and say, hey, send me your paper. Like, so she might be reaching out, because it seems like there are some publications here, but she might be reaching out to sort of help continue to expand that list.
Okay. Thank you. That sounds good. Anything else on the corporate projects moving to foundations project? Okay. The Forks relicensing, my bit of it hasn't made a ton of progress because this is week 3 of events, and then I have one more next week. So I'm spending a lot of time talking about what I've done so far on the Forks and relicensing and not actually doing a lot more data analysis. My personal next step on this is to expand some of the timeframes. So the Valky fork, I think right about now is a year old. So now instead of having 6 months of data, I'll expand that out to a year of data. And then I think I'll also look at the OpenSearch data, since it will have been in the Linux Foundation for 6 months. So I'm going to gather some additional data on additional timeframes. So same projects, same analysis. I just have the scripts that just pull the data, and I just need to clean up the organizational affiliations and look at it and analyze it. So that's my next steps. So that's for Valky and OpenSearch. And then Chan has been, and along with Peculiar, They've been looking at maybe some additional measurements that we can use, starting with 8 knot and auger and Grimoire Lab. And I know that's been stalled a little bit because Chan's going through some career stuff right now, and so she's not been making not had a ton of time to work on this, is what I'm trying to say. And I think Peculiar has had a similar situation where she hasn't had a ton of time to work on this. I don't know, Peculiar, if you have any updates? Or is this going to kind of kick off in another week or two?
Oh, hi everybody. For today, I don't have update.
Okay.
I'm just starting to look at the dogs.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Thanks. So we'll have more metrics coming soon, as people have time to work on that. Any questions on the orcs and relicensing bit? Okay. Someone added DjangoCon Africa. I don't know, does somebody want to talk about that? I'm not sure who added it. Um,
That should be some arena.
oh, was it Ariane who added it?
Oh no. Thinking.
We're having a hard time hearing you, Peculiar. I think you're breaking up. Okay, well, we have DjangoCon Africa. There is a CFP which closes in just a few days. I don't know, is there anybody who's planning to go? It's in August in Tanzania.
Okay, I
Hello.
will.
Oh, sorry, Ariane, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I thought Bikula was talking.
Oh,
Okay. So
no,
I
go ahead, please.
added that point. I don't know if you are planning to stop something. Maybe talk or
Yeah, unfortunately you're breaking up, so we're having a hard time hearing you. Maybe, oops. And then we lost her. Okay. Um, I don't know of anything that we're planning to do there. But it might be interesting. I don't know if some of the other Chaos Africa folks have something that they're planning to do. I would say, Ariane, if you have any additional details, maybe put them in chat, just because we seem to be having some issues hearing you. But it'd be great if we could do something there. I don't know if some of the other Chaos Africa folks are planning to attend.
That's exactly what I was actually trying to say. That I think I could. Ariana, you could like take this to Chaos Africa too. They might be interested, maybe sending one or signing up to speak.
So maybe we can chat about this in Slack, since the timeline is pretty short. The CFP closes on the 31st, which is not that many days away. Okay, next agenda item, deep dive into OHM.
Yeah, that was me.
Hi,
So I
Cooper.
think, hi. So I don't think you were there last time, Dawn or Sophia. I presented a 5-minute thing on this project that we're developing, which is basically a new way for communities to value contributions. And Callie was there and several others, and very kindly suggested it would be a good idea to maybe dive deeper into the data. So yeah, I just wanted to find out what the flow is for this group and like how people spin off other meeting times to dive into projects and that sort of thing. And also just see if those who weren't on the call were interested in finding out a bit tonight.
Yeah, I mean, so this isn't a chaos project. So most of our meetings tend to be kind of chaos meetings, but that doesn't mean that we can't spin off a second meeting just to do a deep dive on this and maybe maybe promote it in the chaos channels so that so that people know that it's happening and that we could do it. We could do it maybe maybe opposite this meeting, like the same time if that works for you, but on an opposite week.
Yeah,
Uh
but I was wondering if that would work for people, because then at least the same time
yeah.
usually works, I guess. Callie's got
Callie's got her hand up.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that I do feel like this might be a fit for this group, just more of like the data science, data and analysis side, to look at another. But if we do it the same day, the same time, same day, just on opposite week, I think it does kind of a similar thing. But I actually think that it might be applicable to this group directly, of looking at the more of the data analysis around, like kind of the process.
How much time do you need to do a deep dive into the data?
well, it depends how deep you want to go. I mean, I can give like a 5-minute lightning talk on the general project, which Callie's already sat through twice now, I think.
Yeah, I saw it in the community meeting, I think, when you did it
Yeah,
there.
okay, cool. Yeah. So I mean, a deeper dive would be, I guess, going into the actual data and then just going through the like analysis pipeline for how we generate the metrics once we've done the reviews. But what I'm interested in is collaborating with data scientists that are interested in what we're doing, because there's lots of interesting ways that we could analyze the data, and we're doing a really basic method right now. So like we have a couple of people in our community that would be interested in joining a meeting. And so I thought if we could find a time that suits some of you that were interested, then we could, yeah, sort of merge forces. But yeah, like that's probably what the deeper dive would be, is just I'm just hearing that the network's not very good, or maybe that's just for Ariane. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean a deeper dive, maybe like an hour-long meeting might be nice to sort of get right into the specifics, and then we could go through any lot of sort of more detailed questions that people have.
Would other people be free on the off week? So next week I'm going to be at KubeCon. No, you know what? I say that, but I'm not going to be at KubeCon on Tuesday. I'm going to skip Tuesday because it's the co-located events day and I don't have anything I need to be there for. So I'm going to save myself a trip into London.
Usually I am, but next week I won't be. Oh, that's my surgery day.
Oh no. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, be. Thanks.
Let's see. And then, so that would have been the April 1st. And then the 8th, we have a regular meeting. And then, could possibly do the 15th.
Yeah, potentially.
Tax day in
I'm
the
guessing.
US, but hopefully people will have their taxes done before then.
I'm guessing that most people in this group are like American based. Is that right?
No, I'm in London.
Well,
Several of the folks are in Africa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Sophia and I are actually the only two that are in the US. Actually, it's Sean is hopped in. So it's about half and half
Yeah.
US versus not US.
Okay. I was making assumptions based on the timing of the meeting.
Yeah, well, most of our meetings are timed for the overlap between the US and Europe. So you can see a little chunk of my day right at the end of my day, which is always just meetings. Okay, well, why don't we schedule that deep dive for the 15th at this time? I can work with Elizabeth to maybe get it on the chaos calendar so that people know about it. It's just like a one-off meeting. Um, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, to have like an invite
Okay.
would be good just to be able to put something on the calendar.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds good.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody have any additional agenda items? Because we've gotten towards the end of the agenda where we have reminders and things, but if there's anything else we want to talk about, we've got a few minutes.
I just wanted to introduce the new team member on my team. Kaio is on the call today. He's the new software engineer that's going to be working on 8.9. He's been working on Augur, all those good things. And so I just saw him on the call, and so just want to point out that the infamous software engineer incoming is no longer incoming. He's here.
Welcome to the team. You're welcome to introduce yourself if you'd like. I don't want to put pressure on people, but I will. I can't hear anything. I'm not sure if maybe you're muted. Okay. Um, but that's exciting, Callie. I'm super excited that uh that we've got somebody else on board to help out with 8 knot. I think that's an auger. That's really, really exciting. So we're all happy to meet you. Okay, we do have just a couple of reminders. Open Source Summit North America is in Denver. CHAOSScon is the day after on Thursday, so we hope to see some people there. We are also, and this is kind of in the keep track of, we're thinking about maybe because CHAOSScon is in the afternoon on Thursday, about maybe finding some space and some time to get together and talk about data at the event. Maybe do like a little hackathon or work on a project or something. We can structure this based on whether we get the space and who plans to show up. So we can be flexible around that. But that would be, I think great to be able to do. And so Chan has been talking to some people about that, along with I think Sean, who has some connections there from universities. And then Open Source Summit EU, the CFP closes on the 14th. So that's, I know it sounds like it's really far away, but it's not. It's just a couple of weeks. So we should be thinking about what we want to submit for OSS EU as well. Any questions? Anything else we want to talk about?
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
I saw like in the Chaos Asia group that there was a list of like upcoming conferences, and some of those were really relevant to our project. And I was wondering, does Chaos have like a register of upcoming open source conferences and that sort of thing anywhere?
No, we've tried to do that in the past, and we've been very bad at keeping it up to date. So it never really went anywhere. I personally like to see people talking about the stuff that we're working on. So the meetings that I run in CHAOSS always have reminders about upcoming CFPs for things that I am personally interested in. But these are sort of Dawn's picks more than anything else. There are certainly loads of other conferences like the DjangoCon Africa that might be interesting. So no, we don't have a kind of a curated list of conferences.
Oh, good. That's cool. I've already learned about heaps of great open source stuff coming up, so I'm already winning. Thanks.
Awesome. All right. If there's nothing else, we'll give you a few minutes back in your day to get some other work done. But it was lovely seeing everybody. Thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
See you.
Thanks,
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye all.